Yo, it's your boy Jason back with another video. Today we got a chilling scares video. It's titled YouTubers that became murderers. Yeesh. This shit popped up on my recommended page and I was like, oof. This would seem like a good video to watch, I ain't gonna lie. Cause YouTubers that became murderers. Shit. I don't even got much to say. I ain't gonna lie, chilling scares. He be having good stories, I ain't gonna cap. I should low-key hit the subscribe button. I seen some videos of it, I ain't gonna lie, I seen some videos of it, but I just haven't subscribed. He low-key good at like explaining shit too and everything like that. So let's just get into this shit, man. Little scary video, little scary video to end the night off and shit, you know, like sit outside. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Close to hitting 100 subscribers. I'm at 87, so I'm 13 away. So I'll really appreciate it if y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Help me reach that 100. Help me reach that hundo. Other than that, let's get into this shit, man. YouTubers that became
VinnyBad118 was a YouTube channel owned and operated by Vincent Badaloro from New Jersey. He'd been active on YouTube since 2021 and mainly streamed himself playing sports games like MLB The Show. On September 30, 2025, he went live with another one of these streams. And for someone stumbling onto this live broadcast, nothing about it felt odd. That is, until they started watching and noticed his chat asking him odd questions like, are you going to jail, and how are you gonna get paid in jail? Things became even more strange when some of his viewers started calling him a killer over and over again. However, this label wasn't an exaggeration.
Damn, how they find out? Obviously, if everybody just pull up on your stream knowing, he must have did that shit like, I mean, obviously his face was in the camera or something.
Gonna get paid in jail. Things became even more strange when some of his viewers started calling him a killer over and over again. However, this label wasn't an exaggeration. As it turned out, Vincent was hosting this stream less than a day after allegedly ending the lives of 2 teenage girls in a neighboring town, and he didn't seem the least bit remorseful. The incident happened on September 29th, just before 5:30 p.m. 17-year-old Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas were riding e-bikes in a residential neighborhood in Cranford, New Jersey, when they were suddenly hit by a speeding car, seemingly out of nowhere.
Wow.
The crash was loud enough to get the attention of nearby residents. People rushed to help. Unfortunately, it was already too late.
Describe what those calls to police sounded like.
Wait, how did they know? If I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing he did like a hit and run, so how the hell did they know?
Moments after Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas were mowed down by a black SUV driven by another teenager.
There's a girl on the road and there's a car. Oh my God, please hurry.
So there's 2 females?
By the time first responders arrived at the scene, both girls had already passed away. But what made the incident even more disturbing was just how shockingly violent it was. Later investigation revealed the car was going close to 70 miles per hour, or over 110 kilometers an hour, in a neighborhood with a speed limit of just 25 miles per hour, or roughly 40 kilometers per hour. The resulting collision sent the girls flying across the street, with one victim coming to rest approximately 100 feet from the impact site. According to eyewitness reports, the driver tried to drive away immediately after the incident, but the crash was so violent that the impact had lodged one of the e-bikes into the car, forcing the driver to ditch it and flee on foot. Fortunately, this allowed investigators to run the license plate and trace the car back to its driver, 17-year-old Vincent Badaloro.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing they got his information, and then they posted his ass, you know, saying like to find him, and then everybody that watches him knew who he was.
Vincent was called in for questioning. It's unclear what exactly he told the police, but since the investigators didn't have any solid evidence of his personal involvement, he was let go the same night. The investigators were also treating this as an accident by this point, so they had no ground to detain Vincent just yet. However, this changed completely when one of the victims' families learned about Vincent's potential involvement. According to Maria's family, Vincent had been stalking and harassing her for months by that point. They went to the same school, and Vincent was reported to have tormented her during multiple different instances. The two had never gotten along. Vincent would also allegedly follow Maria around anytime she went outside, and neighbors even saw him staking out her house in his car on multiple occasions. This behavior only worsened after Maria reported him to the school authorities about a month before the incident, with him becoming even more aggressive and making false police reports, even leading to her family getting swatted multiple times. In one of his streams, he mentioned having a vengeance against Maria and even dedicated one of his...
people... Weirdos like this dude, bro, that just get mad. Bro. Like, you over here doing all this for a girl that doesn't even fuck with you, bro. Just move on, bro. Like, bro. People that would do this shit to a girl just because you don't like you, bro, and you're gonna go the extra level to be petty and call the SWAT, police on them, stalk them and shit, bro. Come on, bro. Get a fucking life and just move on, bro.
Old phones to harassing her, starting with ordering a pizza to her address.
Here's what we're gonna do. I think Maria's hungry. I think we're gonna send her a pizza. Cheer her up. So,
how old was
I
he?
have a
I forgot.
vengeance against this girl.
I don't know
I'm
what he
gonna
said.
call a pizza to her house, and here's how I'm gonna do it.
Investigation also revealed that Vincent's own parents had called the police.
Oh, so maybe that's why, cause he would let us talk about her on their live, on his live. So you know the viewers gonna be invested in shit. And they probably looked her up or whatever, and knew who she was. And then they saw this on the news, and yeah, that's how they knew.
4 times regarding his increasingly violent and out-of-control behavior over the last few months. He was becoming more erratic, and combined with Maria getting him in trouble at school, was likely harboring deep resentment towards her. Put simply, there was a strong chance that what happened wasn't an accident. He possibly wanted to take his anger out on Maria, and Isabel was just collateral in his messed up plan. Now, while the investigators were piecing all this together, Vincent decided to go live on YouTube and pretend like everything was completely normal. However, people in his community had learned about his possible involvement in the case by this point, resulting in the chat messages we mentioned earlier. He tried to dismiss these messages as just hate comments and drama, but eventually decided to address the situation in the vaguest terms possible.
In a neighboring town, unfortunately, 2 girls were killed in a hit-and-run crash. Now, there has been a lot of misinformation going on over the internet. It is an absolute unfortunate situation, and there's more to the story that you're not getting. But when the time comes, I will explain it in greater detail.
He was likely speaking this way to...
Fuck is, bro, what? Bro trying to be like all mysterious and shit, thinking like there's a purpose that why he did this shit. Bro, what? Yeah, this dude is fucking just not right.
To avoid an accidental admission of guilt. However, this stream could still help investigators bring him to justice. You see, while he was live on YouTube, investigators were gathering evidence to prove that he was behind the wheel. This led to the discovery of ring camera footage from a nearby street, showing him speeding in the neighborhood before the incident and then walking back on foot minutes after everything went down. This, combined with eyewitness testimonies, allowed investigators to arrest him a day later on October 1st and charge him with 2 counts of first-degree murder. His channel has since been terminated by YouTube. Prosecutors are also pushing to have Vincent tried as an adult to secure the full sentence they believe he deserves.
Oh, but it was only 17, I think, or 16.
I'm recording this.
Bro, what the fuck?
Because I want my daughter to know that I love you, Mackenzie Pascal. I'm so sorry that I've done this. I want you to know that you mean everything to me.
This was the final video 48-year-old Trent Pascal uploaded to YouTube on October 21st, 2020. His content up until that point was a mix of family vlogs, DIY tips, and RC toy reviews. He came across as a laid-back, middle-aged dad enjoying time with his family, but the video he uploaded in October 2020 was different. It wasn't a wholesome vlog or toy review with his kids. Instead, this was a confession Trent posted to YouTube after committing a heartless crime just so he could paint himself as the victim. The day started off rough with Trent having a massive argument with his wife, Savannah. Details of what exactly caused this argument are unknown, but according to some reports, it had something to do with Trent's overprotective and envious personality. He was reportedly very insecure about the 18-year age gap between him and Savannah. He saw anyone even remotely close to her as a threat and tried to control every aspect of her life, which also led to many clashes between the two over the years. Regardless of the reason, the argument on October 21st ended with Savannah dropping their 2 kids at school and then driving over to live at their mother Shirley's house in Lamarck, Texas. Neighbors also saw Trent storming out not long after her. Savannah and Shirley went out to check on the kids at school later that day before returning home at around noon. Shirley went straight to the master bedroom to freshen up, but nothing could have prepared her for what was waiting for her inside. The moment she stepped into the bathroom, Trent leaped out from behind the shower curtain with a firearm in his hand. And before she could even register what was going on, Trent announced that he was going to end both her and Savannah and opened fire. Fortunately, he missed the mark, giving Shirley the opportunity to escape to a neighbor's house and call for help. Sadly, Savannah wasn't as lucky. Trent managed to shoot her twice in the stomach before fleeing the scene. She was rushed to the hospital, but passed away shortly after. Though, while Savannah was fighting for her life, Trent uploaded this video to his now deleted second channel, explaining his reasoning for the heinous crime. He accused Savannah of cheating on him and claimed that she was the one who made him do this. However, to most people who came across this video,
Even if that was the case, bro, you still should have not fucking done that shit. Even if cheating was involved, bro. Come on, bro. What the fuck you gonna take a human's life for that? Just fucking leave him. It's no point of you taking a life and then like, bro, come on. Just leave and walk away.
claimed that she was the one who made him do this. However, to most people who came across this video, it was clear that Trent posted the video so he could portray himself as the victim. He even seems to try a fake cry multiple times during the video, but fails to shed a single tear. Many also assumed the cheating accusation was likely false, but even if it wasn't, it was still no justification for taking her life.
Yeah.
That said, the most disturbing part of this video was the very end, which showed Trent hearing a noise and immediately rushing to hide in a dark room. Closely listening to this section revealed a plastic rustling noise, similar to what shower curtains sound like when moved. In other words, Trent was possibly recording this final message in Shirley's home moments before they arrived, and then quickly ran to the bathroom when he heard the two pull into the driveway. He fled Lamarck immediately after committing the crime, prompting a statewide manhunt. This ended with the police tracking him down to a Walmart parking lot in Houston later the same day. However, Trent drew his firearm on the officers and refused to back down despite repeated warnings. This left deputies with no choice but to open fire, hitting him several times across the abdomen. He was then taken to a hospital where he spent over a month recovering from his wounds. He was eventually booked into the Galveston County Jail on charges of murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm. Now, this is usually where stories like this end, but that's not what happened with Trent. Despite the deeply violent nature of his crimes, he was allowed to leave on bail after paying $550,000. He was fitted with a GPS ankle monitor.
What? Bro killed someone and they still give him bail? What the fuck? What type of shit is that?
With Trent. Despite the deeply violent nature of his crimes, he was allowed to leave on bail after paying $550,000. He was fitted with a GPS ankle monitor and ordered to stay at his mother's house until his conviction.
That don't make sense.
Trent initially complied with these orders, but on April 13th, 2021, he removed his ankle monitor, stole a car at knife point after taking it on a test drive from a dealership, and vanished without a trace. This triggered a massive multi-state manhunt. The police spent months looking for Trent, but he was still nowhere to be found. This also left Savannah's family in a constant state of fear, as Trent could show up at any time to cause further harm. The run finally ended nearly 9 months later in January 2022 when the U.S. Marshals received a tip that a man matching Trent's description was staying at a small RV park in Ocala, Florida. Officers rushed to the scene and surrounded a van where they believed he was hiding. But before they could break in and apprehend Trent, he decided to end everything on his own, robbing Savannah's family of seeing any
fucking some bitch ass people like that, bro. You gonna take a life, and then when it's your time to come, you just gonna fucking pussy ass bitch.
justice through the legal system.
That should be like that shit is the worst, bro. They gonna
Lane
take a
Maurice
life
Davis
and then
joined YouTube all the way back.
Instead of doing the time that they know that they have to do, it's gonna end their life too, bro. Come on. I mean, good thing he's dead now, you know, fucking psychopath, but would have been just as true if he would have got life and shit. And die in jail.
Lane
Slowly.
Maurice Davis joined YouTube all the way back in September 2009 under the name Seattle for Truth. Most of his videos have since been deleted by YouTube for policy violations, but they were mainly about right-wing political commentary and rants about current events. Some of these videos also revolved around Lane trying to prove various conspiracy theories. Lane also did an internship under British far-right commentator Milo Yiannopoulos at one point, though it didn't last very long. So his YouTube channel was the only thing Lane focused on for most of his adult life. But while he did have a sizable following across socials, most of his videos didn't attract enough viewers to provide a sustainable income. This forced Lane to live with his parents and rely on them for monetary needs, which apparently was a major source of tension in their relationship. His parents also had to provide a sustainable income. This forced Lane to live with his parents and rely on them for monetary needs, which apparently was a major source of tension in their relationship. His parents also had differing political views from their son, leading to frequent arguments, especially with his father Charles. And the back and forth on the night of July 14, 2017 started off as no different. As the argument became more heated, his mother Catherine dialed 911 and calmly asked for assistance, stating,
"He's not physically threatening us or anything, he just gets out of control and he's ranting about stuff from the internet. He's not working and he just gets on these rampages and he just needs to move on. He just lives on the..."
Oh, he wasn't working. I mean, bro, if you're gonna be, bro, you gotta be working at that point, bro. If you're gonna be doing YouTube and you're not making money, you gotta at least have a fucking job to actually have money coming in, bro. Until one day you make it for real and start getting big checks and shit from YouTube, then maybe you can, you know, probably quit that job and shit and start focusing on that. But yeah, people are like, but there's a lot of people like this too, bro. There's a lot of people like this, bro, that be living off their parents, be asking money from their parents and shit when they're growing to get a job and shit, bro. Don't be like them, bro. Get your own money so you can spend it on your own shit. You don't gotta ask for money and shit. And you can keep doing YouTube too, bro. And that boy looked old as hell too. How old was he?
Internet, and he gets really worked up about everything that's going on. He needs an intervention of some kind here.
The dispatcher instructed Catherine and Charles to keep their distance until the police arrived, but she downplayed the threat, saying she'd seen many similar outbursts in the past and that he wouldn't turn violent. Unfortunately, she couldn't have been more wrong, because just a few minutes later, Catherine dialed 911 again, and this time in a far more frantic state, screaming phrases like, "He stabbed him," and repeating, "He's dead," over and over again. Officers were already on their way from the first call Catherine made and reached the house within minutes. Inside, they found Charles lying on the floor with his clothes covered in blood. According to reports, Lane became even more aggressive after the first 911 call and stabbed his father multiple times with a kitchen knife. By the time police arrived, Charles had already passed away. Lane likely regretted his decision immediately, as officers saw him standing outside the front door with his...
See, that's what people gotta control, bro. Don't let your emotion get the best out of you, bro. Don't let your fucking emotions get the best out of you and make you do shit that you gonna regret, bro.
Lane likely
Cause I was about to say, bro, stabbing your own parents or just even killing your own parents, bro. I don't know how some people be able to do it, bro. I could never do that shit, bro.
Regretted his decision immediately, as officers saw him standing outside the front door with his hands in the air, waiting to be arrested. He later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder as part of a plea deal and was sentenced to 17 years in prison. His YouTube channel now sits completely abandoned.
Deserved. Shouldn't have done that, man. Control your emotions.
In many of these cases, the transition from content creator to criminal is marked by a clear, calculated decision. But with Jessica Worsham, known online as the Indigo Mystic on YouTube, the path was much more blurred. with her channel serving as a digital diary for a woman who was visibly losing her grip on reality. Jessica started her channel in 2013 to post occasional videos on whatever topics grabbed her interest that day. Her content was relatively harmless, with nothing too attention-grabbing, at least at first. As her personal life began to fracture, the tone shifted dramatically. It started with her getting divorced from her husband. It's unclear what the reason for this divorce was, possibly something to do with her deteriorating mental state. Regardless of the reason though, it left her in charge of her 2 daughters. However, she didn't have any place to stay at the time. So, one of her friends allowed her to stay at one of their properties for free until they found a buyer for it. They were likely expecting to sell the home in a few months,
That's a good friend
but
right there.
the process ended up taking 3 long years. And when it was finally time to hand over the keys, Jessica intervened. Instead of being grateful for being able to stay there for 3 years for free, she refused to leave and even took her friend to court over it. She understandably lost in
Bro, come on, bro. Yeah, what the fuck? But that's really a good ass friend offer you to live in a nice ass fucking house, bro. It could have been worse. It could have been worse, but it's a good ass fucking house for free. For fucking free for 3 years. What the fuck were you doing, bro? You could have, bro. During those 3 years, she could have got her money up. She could have bought that shit, man. Or either that could have saved up money and then bought another house, bro. He's stupid as hell, man. But it's probably because she was going through, what was this, some mental shit.
This ended up taking 3 long years. And when it was finally time to hand over the keys, Jessica intervened.
That's no excuse.
Instead
though,
of
man.
being grateful for being able to stay there for 3 years for free, she refused to leave and even took her friend to court over it. She understandably lost in court and was forced to move out. This upended the life she'd built over the last 3 years and marked the beginning of her downfall. The stress of losing her home, combined with her pre-existing mental conditions, proved disastrous. She refused to accept the reality and became delusional, thinking that the judges were part of some evil group alongside her family members.
She has mental conditions, but she said those 3 years she was good. She didn't have a job or nothing, bro. What the hell?
And became delusional, thinking that the judges were part of some evil group alongside her family members and were out to get her and her daughters.
So the first person I would like to mention is Alan Berriman.
She seems like a sweetheart too, bro.
And he has been working with my other family members, a one Angie Griffith. She lives in Danielsville. And also a Denise Cantrell, who is my maternal parent. And my sister, Crystal Christian, okay? They've all been working in league with a judge, a magistrate judge that works at the Jackson County Courthouse named Benjamin Green. He's been doing under-the-table type things that he's not supposed to be doing, and Alan Berriman and those mentioned afterwards have been in league with this particular judge individual and to steal my home from me.
Jessica began posting videos ranting about these made-up conspiracies, like how the government was trying to depopulate the world with the COVID vaccines. She was clearly losing her grip on reality, even posting videos directly addressing the judge she believed had wronged her in the past.
So she wasn't
anyway,
the only
this
one.
message is for Benjamin Green. I know you're watching me, and I know you're scared. And you should be. Dingledorf.
Yo, this is funny, like, she's making these videos thinking they're watching, but the whole time they just don't give a fuck about it. They don't care what she's doing.
He's too scared. He's too scared to even try to communicate with me telepathically, but you're scared, aren't you, Benji? Ben. Good old Benji. You used to be a good person, didn't you, Benji? You did. You used to actually have the desire for justice and the desire to do good by people. What happened? What happened? Did you let the greed of the world get to you? Did you let that secret society that you're a part of talk you into all this stuff?
However, this was only the beginning. The situation truly began to unravel when her ex-husband filed for custody of their 2 daughters in mid-2021. Jessica didn't have a solid roof over her head and wasn't sending the 2 girls to school either. Her behavior online was also becoming more and more erratic.
Oh shit, I hope it doesn't end up her taking their life, bro. I hope it doesn't end up like that, bro. Because, you know, obviously she's going crazy right now, and I hope it's not that.
With each passing day. In addition to her rambling about topics that made little sense, she also posted videos waving around the firearm she had, threatening anyone who wanted to get in her way. Put simply, she was becoming dangerous to her own children. Her ex-husband filed for temporary custody until Jessica found proper residence and got professional help for her degrading mental state. But in her delusions, Jessica saw this as yet another attack on her from the same group that took away her home.
Today is a rather unfortunate day, to be honest with you. I'm actually going to court today against some people that are trying to take my children from me. The same people that took my home from me. the Jackson County court system.
She still could have had a chance to stay with her daughters, but on the day of the hearing, she refused to enter the courthouse, further highlighting her unstable mental state to the judge. The custody was awarded to her ex-husband until Jessica was deemed capable of resuming responsibility. This was a chance for her to actually work on improving her situation, but Jessica didn't see it that way. Sadly, she was already too far gone and decided to go on the run with her daughters instead. She stayed on the move for the next couple of months, moving from place to place, all while posting increasingly unhinged monologues on YouTube.
Mine, 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 M-I-N-E, mine. They're my babies. And I love them above anything else. I love them like I love God. And I'll do anything, including lay my life down for them. And I know that's what you wish for.
Jessica also felt the need to record and post to YouTube almost everything that happened in her life. She'd gone as far as to instruct her daughters to start recording whenever anything notable happened. What she didn't know was that one of these recordings would end up scarring them for life. The incident happened on November 5th, 2021, with Jessica getting into an argument with the owners of the house she was living in. The dispute escalated to the point where the owners asked her to leave the house, and when she refused, they contacted the police to have her removed. However, as soon as the officers pulled into the driveway, Jessica opened the front door with her firearm in her hand and opened fire. One of the shots hit 43-year-old Sheriff's Deputy Lena Marshall, sending her to the hospital where she tragically passed away just a few days later. The other officers opened fire in retaliation, hitting Jessica multiple times, all while her daughters heard and recorded everything inside the house. Jessica passed away on the spot, with her younger daughter posting the final video on YouTube with the heartbreaking title,
"My mom is dead, I think."
As recording and uploading to the internet was what
She still posted a damn video? Oh, hell no.
"My mom is dead, I think."
As recording and uploading to the internet was what Jessica had taught them to do.
Yo. I mean, good thing it wasn't the way I thought it was gonna be. I thought she was gonna take the kids out and shit. So good thing it wasn't that, but damn, man. Crazy ass. Bro, she could have been. She could have gotten help, bro. She could have gotten help. But she refused and everything. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, but she could have got her shit together during those 3 years when she got that house. What the fuck was she doing? Damn, man. Yeah, that was good videos, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I fuck with this channel, bro. He be explaining everything and shit. And he got that voice. Got that voice with, you know, little creepy voice and shit. That's why it's called Chillin' Scares. But that was a good video, though. I ain't gonna lie. Damn. Rest in peace to everybody that died, bro.